Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Colombia.
I'm Hispanic.
And is this a setup? Did I ever meet you before? Huh?
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes!
Raise your hand. God bless America. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
Let's talk about it. During the 2024 election cycle, Latino and Hispanic communities played a critical role in the outcome of the vote in several states. Among those states were Nevada and Florida. According to survey data provided by American Society and Council of the Americas, the issues which were most concerning to Latino and Hispanic communities were inflation in the cost of living, jobs in the economy, housing affordability, healthcare, immigration, and violence. As the 2024 election cycle approached, polling data suggested two segments within Latino and Hispanic communities were leaning significantly toward Donald Trump, those of Cuban and South American descent. Notably, within these voting blocks, those making less than $50,000 per year, as well as those making more than $100,000 per year, indicated their support of Donald Trump, with the economy being a significant factor for both segments. When surveyed more closely, 78% of those polled indicated the increased cost of food and living expenses informed their decision. 68% pointed to rent and the cost of owning a home, while 57% said enough money was not coming in from working one job, and as a result, they had to take on two jobs to make ends meet. Accordingly, when the election took place, 19 out of the 26 counties along the U.S. border with significant Hispanic and Latino communities voted for Donald Trump. Also, 7 out of the 10 most Latino and Hispanic populous counties across the United States also voted for Trump. An example, Miami-Dade County in Florida swung 19 percentage points from the 2020 election to the 2024 election in favor of Donald Trump. This resulted in him winning Miami-Dade County by 55% during the 2024 election. Miami-Dade County is 68% Latino and or Hispanic. The electoral votes of both Florida and Nevada, both states where Trump was welcomed and celebrated by the Latino and Hispanic community, went to Donald Trump. Regardless of how the Latino and Hispanic community understand the stakes of the election, state leaders, along with Donald Trump and federal officials, constructed their own plans outside of considering the concerns of the Latino and Hispanic community. Soon after the election, Nevada was identified as a state where immigration detention facilities could be built. As potential sites of incarceration due to citizenship status were mapped out, existing immigration and customs enforcement prisons in Nevada increases already existing capacity. These considerations were compounded by police forces in the state signing agreements which allowed ICE to train, certify, as well as authorize state and local law enforcement to serve and execute administrative warrants, as well as conduct immigration enforcement duties at local jails and during routine police duties such as traffic stops, thereby opening the door for discriminative pretextual stops or flat-out racial profiling. Meanwhile, in Florida, Ron DeSantis warned he would leverage the administrative power of the state to suspend local officials who refused to work with ICE. Soon thereafter, cities in Florida, like Fort Myers, agreed to let ICE officials train their police force. Exposing cities to immigration and customs enforcement not only took place by way of coercion from local, state, and federal officials. In some cases, ICE was permitted into cities in exchange for letting local officials off the hook. On February 10, 2025, the Department of Justice released a memo requiring that the pending charges of New York City Mayor Eric Adams be dropped. But what did Eric Adams give in exchange for this?
You're up early anyway.
If he doesn't come through, I'll be back in New York City, and we won't be sitting on the couch. I'll be in his office, up his butt, saying, "Where the hell is the agreement we came to?" So,
I want ICE to deliver. And I want ICE to deliver. We're going to deliver for the safety of the people of this city.
Within a matter of weeks, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristen Noem was on the ground in New York.
In New York City this morning, we are getting the dirtbags off these streets.
While state leaders continue to take various approaches to immigration for their own reasons, the Department of Homeland Security, via Kristi Noem, recently announced that it is, quote, terminating the categorical parole program for inadmissible aliens from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela and their family members on March 25th, 2025. The program was put in place by Joe Biden in October of 2022 to provide humanitarian relief. The Department of Homeland Security further advised all those who were recipients of the program must, quote, depart the United States before their parole termination date. This was done by way of Executive Order 14165, signed by Donald Trump on January 20th, 2025. The termination of the program impacts 532,000 persons of Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan descent, many of them being located in Florida, Nevada, and New York. In other words, the officials that the Latino and Hispanic community voted for did not take their concerns into consideration once they assumed office. The lesson here is quite clear and brings to mind what Audre Lorde vividly taught. The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us to temporarily beat him at his own game, but they will never allow us to bring about genuine change. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.